Looks like it's going to be the Zed Poppy versus Poppy Ziggs, so a pretty interesting matchup already.
Yeah, and it looks like it's pretty much just a standard Poppy Ziggs. No treasured trash, unfortunately. And from Seku's side, yeah, for those unfamiliar with the Lulu Poppy Zed kind of Demacia Ionia pile, it's just full of rallies and elusive units, and it looks to abuse Lulu's support or Zed and Poppy, and you just constantly swing in with them.
So is Seku on 2 Lulu, 1 Poppy?
No, he's on two Lulu, one Zed,
One
Oh,
Zed.
that's what I
because
meant. Sorry.
yeah,
Yeah.
with three Poppy. He's also running one Ghost
I
as
like the
well.
Ghost. I like the one of Ghost a lot. Elusive Poppy, Elusive Zed. It's super cute.
Ghost is incredibly good in this list, not only because you can push extra damage, but because it lets you play out stuff like Poppy and swing into boards where you would otherwise just kill her. You know, if she's elusive, elusive units oftentimes cannot block as well. They aren't as strong as the ground units, so Poppy's pretty safe up in the air. Um, so it's a pretty good option. But the Lulu version, it's interesting because this was very good last season. I played it quite a bit, but sort of fell by the wayside in favor of this Zed. A little bit more aggressive. Doesn't run the proteges and such. But looks like Seku favoring this one. I assumed with the lack of Nami, it would continue to fall out of favor, but perhaps just a little bit more practice on it, feeling more comfortable.
Seku is very much a Demacia gamer. He's very comfortable on this particular list. I don't know if how much he's practiced this exact 40 cards list, but I do know that he took Lulu Poppy all the way up to top 15 last season, maybe even top 10. I think he touched number 8. Um, so Seku very, very comfortable on this list, knows what he's doing, and is gonna go ahead and I would imagine pass here so he can keep tricks up to deal with this Poppy.
Yeah, I assume that we're just going to let the Ziggs through, have to tank 5, but we can at least trade into Poppy here, right? And then hopefully our 4-card hand versus the opponent's 3-card hand is going to be enough to get us through, but right now we are just losing out. We got forced to trade down our board to the triple 1-drops from
Yeah,
Successor, which is
yeah, and
just
I think
really
you
difficult.
have to commit both these tricks here, just because you're losing your only kind of a unit to support with Lulu, right?
Yeah, you really do need to be developing this Lulu on the upcoming turn, and you do need something to go in hand with her.
One
Picks up the Fleet Feather Tracker.
Yeah, Fleet Feather Tracker is a great top deck, but one issue that we have here is that Lulu only buffs the attack of her supported unit up to 4, which means that it's not able to actually kill this buffed up Ziggs and not able to actually save it without committing another combat trick. So opting not to go for the Lulu, instead opting for the draw from Shadow Assassin, I think makes a lot of sense, but the
Oh
punish
wow.
and
Oh,
then the
the
Ranger's
second
Resolve.
Ziggs.
Whew. The Rangers Resolve so clutch there. If he didn't have exactly Rangers Resolve in that moment, the game was probably over losing 2 of your units like that.
Yeah, that was a very, very scary Zig spell for Seku. If that did get through, the game was certainly just going to be closed out. Second Poppy.
Oh
Successor is
no.
just showing Seku that he's the better gamer. I draw 4 champs. You draw 1.
Yeah, you draw 1 and you're still getting pushed off tempo, so you're never actually able to play it, and this is just so hard for Seku. This isn't a favored matchup by any stretch of the imagination, right? The burn is usually very good into this type of Poppy rally deck that doesn't have any healing. It's not running Radiance or anything, right? It's very much trying to race your opponent, and unfortunately, Poppy Ziggs a lot of times outraces you.
Well, we'll see if Seku can keep his hopes for the finals alive. He should have the time to develop the Lulu here. We'll see if he can use that with his challengers to convert into some more damage and wiping down this board.
We are giving up a lot of our board in response, though. The other option's to tank, a ton of damage here, which just is not great. That is not what you want to be doing, ideally. But we're keeping alive a challenger. We're only taking 1 damage. Oh, is this a pokey to kill our challenger? Oh no.
Oh no. I
You
think,
hate to see it.
yeah, I think I would have liked to see the elusive 2-1 being traded off instead of the Fleet Feather Tracker.
Yeah, the elusive 2-1 at least gives you like a win condition. Potentially you can like cheese in some elusive damage, but the issue is we kind of have to regain control of this board. I think if you're running the Lulu version with the proteges, you kind of have to maintain board control. That's what you're opting in
Mhm.
for. You want the favorable trades. And right now it's just not working out well for Seku. Just too good of an aggressive start from Successor combined with the double poppies has just been backbreaking.
Double Poppy, double Ziggs. Coming up huge for Successor in this matchup.
And the burn coming out as well from the demolitionist, and now we have to make the decision, are we swinging with Poppy just to push a little bit of extra damage? And it looks like we are, but we're trading her off. If third Poppy comes down, I'm gonna cry.
If third Poppy comes down, oh man. Successor is just unbelievably good at this game.
Okay, no third Poppy is good, but that could mean that it's like fervors or burn, and that's not exactly great either.
We are looking a little bit dead here.
Yeah, taking at minimum 4 damage here, right? It's 4 damage plus the landmark is gonna tick another one, so we're down at 4 HP, which means any decimate we are dead to. Fervor plus one other ping we are dead to.
Seku decides that he does have to block here. Burns the sharp sight too to keep his unit alive. What are his hopes of winning here?
So if we top deck Twin Disciplines, we have lethal.
Theoretical. We have Hearthstone lethal.
Yeah, yeah. I mean that pokey just went face, so like hopefully our opponent just doesn't have burn and we can just, Twin Disciplines rally.
Our opponent never has Noxie and Fervor here.
The other option is like, oh, okay, well
Okay.
there was a line of like another Shadow Assassin into Poppy, and like that's lethal.
Okay, second Shadow Assassin. Yeah, that's an out.
I think.
He
Ranger's
found the
Resolve.
Yeah, and the protege is pretty good too.
Does Seku run Nopify in this list or no?
He does not.
Because Nopify is like really clutch in this matchup as well because it can hit a harpoon, it can hit a make it rain.
The Nopify Harpoon interaction is so funny to me.
Yeah,
The fact that you can Nopify a 6-mana card just because it's been currently discounted, I find that really amusing. I don't know why. It's a pretty
Nopify
good
is
opener.
funny.
Seku did end up kicking the Ranger's Resolve, which may come back to bite him, as we do know he is only on two. I think he's only on 2 currently. Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
He's opted to run that one of Ghost instead of the third copy. That is standard right now.
I feel like against Bilgewater especially, you want to be on, or you want to be keeping your Ranger's Resolve, at least in my mind. It's just so valuable. It's a 1 mana blow your opponent's spell out card. It's just so good when it goes off that it's just it's rough to see that you feel you have to kick it.
I guess he just decided that he needed to stabilize the board before actually having something to protect with the Ranger's Resolve.
I think we trade our tracker off here, right? And then just play out Protege.
Yeah, I like playing up protege. Kill off the crack shot.
Yeah, at least we're trading down the board here. We do have board control, right? So the real champion of this deck is Young Witch. She is your value generator, just continually forcing positive trades for you, forcing in a little bit of damage. So being able to pick her up early is really good for Seku.
Yeah, and if everything goes well here, the curve is really good. Next turn into Poppy, and then into
I like taking that pass, actually.
interesting. Yeah,
I think as this deck, especially with the Challenger, with the Young Witch, oftentimes burning your opponent's mana and getting like a slight tempo increase by, not attacking can be really valuable. Um, just
Pushing
don't
1 damage
develop
in that
Poppy.
spot. Yeah, no, you can't develop the Poppy here. It's going to go straight into a Monster Harpoon.
Yeah. If this gets passed back or a Successor doesn't get a Gangplank proc off this turn, you're very happy. The only thing that
They
you're losing to is like big red card or a flipped GP, usually.
So he did have the inventive chemist's explosive pop, the landmark. So
Oh,
he got his GP proc for this turn, which
oh,
is
that's
which is
cheating.
why we really cannot develop Poppy at all this turn. I
Yeah,
would imagine if a pass back comes here, Seku instantly takes it.
I absolutely. Blue card. How often does Pink City throw out a blue card? Not often.
His hand must be kind of bricked right now. I imagine he's got his one of Dreadway in there, maybe a second GP.
Yeah.
I don't know. Gold card just makes a lot of sense in that situation to remove the one challenger that is going to continue threatening your board alongside this young witch.
Yeah, I think gold, even red sets up like a nice make it rain potentially. You're playing it to resolve with that line, but it's just surprising to see. We still can't play out Poppy because we got the landmark activating Harpoon, and if we lose our Poppy to a Harpoon, we just are not in a good
Cry.
spot. Yeah.
We can play out the Shadow Assassin now, though. It is going to let us bank the one mana, keeping mana available for Poppy plus a combat trick next turn.
Yeah, and the Harpoon is still going to come out onto the challenge. You're just deciding, Successor here, deciding that denying the per turn value trades is going to be more important. But this does mean that Poppy comes down, and even if there's second Harpoon, we have its Twin Disciplines fired up. The big thing about this deck is this deck is incredibly good at keeping Poppy alive. Oh, this gets blown out.
Wow.
This is
Successor's
insane.
hand must be very, very bricked. I imagine he's got his second double up in there, his Dreadway probably, maybe even second Harpoon. For him to be going for a play like that with when Seku is pretty clearly telegraphing, I have combat tricks. I waited to hold Poppy because I have combat tricks. That's rough.
Yeah, and after one proc of the Poppy ability buffing up the entire board, everything no longer dies to your little pings. And now like a rally here is just probably game. Um,
I also have Successor's hand now.
oh, do you? Pog?
Yeah.
Let's turn that on. Oh yeah, no, that's
Oh wow. Yep. So
you were
there's the
right on.
Dreadway.
Treadway second double up. Way to go. The
Yeah,
hand
I mean,
reads.
when you played the deck often enough and you see people making kind of questionable plays, you kind of get an idea of, well, here's what they probably do have. Stone Stacker's not going to be able to do anything for him here. He can't really play the Bandle path. Wow.
Oh,
All right.
that's. I think we just open attack,
Yeah. You
set up
just
a
take the open
rally.
here.
I
Yeah, this is a pretty nice open. Sets your Poppy up for a level.
You do
although
also have the double twin plus the Rangers for
Yeah.
anything that might come out. So
Ranger
the one
resolve.
Rangers
Oh
here.
no.
Ranger showed up just in time.
Yeah, and
So,
now
oh, here it is, Sivir Akshan.
Sivir Akshan versus Ping City. How many Radiant Guardians is Seku on?
He's on 2 Radiant Guardians, and he's also playing 1 Quicksand.
I think Seku is golden here. He's on 2 Cataclysm over single combats, which is worse in some matchups, but usually GP is being developed on the turn he's attacking or the turn before into not an open attack, and you'll have an opportunity to go ahead and use your Cataclysm on him. So that shouldn't hurt him too much in this matchup.
Yeah, and we see Seku finds the Cataclysm and the Sivir.
As well as,
Oh, but he does opt to pitch it out. He finds the Radiant Guardian.
Oh my
I like,
god. And the big thing about this matchup is if you are able to stick a Radiant Guardian, the game is basically over. It is so
Yeah,
difficult for Pink City to come back from that.
thanks to the tough, not even a Harpoon will kill it.
Yeah,
tough, very, very powerful keyword. So powerful, in fact, it had to be removed from this card, Stone Stackers.
Yeah, it's pretty tough.
That's funny. But it's so difficult to deal with just because, at minimum you're trading 2 cards into it, but also it's so hard to deny it from getting at least 2 strikes. A heal 8 that also trades up in cards is pretty good, it turns out.
Hey,
Yeah,
remember when it had 5 attack?
I don't, but
Oh,
I
was
can
that
only
before you
imagine.
started?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
That was the the dark ages,
The good
Man,
old days is what I'm hearing.
the good old days. You
imagine
remember?
starting
Did
this
you hear
game.
about 3-mana deny?
Yeah, I remember 3-mana deny. That was something.
Yeah. So Seku's opting to go for the Bright Steel on the Fleet Feather just to pull the Mirai Warden. And another line was probably going for the Merciless on the Stackers, and then trading in the Bright Steel.
Yeah, I think he wants to keep the Merciless for more valuable targets.
Yeah, and he's also, I mean, sitting pretty healthy that he can afford to block the Stackers and take the one impact
One,
damage.
yeah,
Yeah.
one
But
impact
lecturing here,
damage.
lecturing's a big unit.
Lecturing's a big boy for sure. This is maybe where we'll see the Merciless Hunter come down, letting us get a trade into the Lecturing Yordle on the following turn, and then set up our Radiant Guardian after the open attack.
So one really nice thing about this Fleet Feather tracker is a lot of times with the challengers, kind of how you go about activating the Radiant Guardian, right? So like if it does die here, then the Merciless Hunter will basically have to set up some suicide mission for one of your units, just so that you can activate it.
I would imagine we're going to see the attempt at pinging the tracker.
Yeah, I think so.
I think you have to try it. If he has Ranger's Resolve, you would rather he use it here.
What's he targeting?
He doesn't play Rangers in this.
Yeah, so it'd be like shaped or
Oh,
something that you're playing
yeah,
into.
yeah. Sorry,
No, you're fine.
Yeah, you better be.
I'm losing it today, gentlemen.
So I think we just double block with our 3/2s, yeah? Oh, are we
Yeah,
actually?
hmm.
Maybe we're not trying to play out our Radiant next turn. Maybe deciding that that would
Yeah, I
be
think
a bit
he's
too
saving the
bad in
Radiant.
value. Who knows? But with this, potentially just wanted to throw Sivir at the 3/5 and get a value trade is usually pretty valuable. But with this, getting the damage onto it, I imagine we're sending off our 3/2 to die, our 4/2 to hit face with the fearsome tag, and then we just get to proc a Radiant Guardian, which should feel pretty alright.
Yeah, and like we were saying before, how Harpoon doesn't kill Radiant off the bat. With a keg, it would.
Mm-hmm.
True. That's definitely something to keep in mind. But the sharp sight top deck. That's the other thing about the tough keyword. Is that tough becomes so much better when you have combat tricks to continually up the toughness of
Yeah, it
your
becomes a
card.
lot tougher to remove it. So he also has a concerted as well to answer the keg in the worst case scenario.
That
Yeah.
would be really disastrous if being forced into that. But if it comes down to it, I'm sure it would be the correct play to make. We are going to see this Radiant Guardian dropped here, right? Seku is, well, we're on Successor's turn still.
Yeah. Successor was deciding if he wanted to play out his other cards this turn, and looks like he
Yeah,
will.
he opts in for the cycle with the pokey.
Yeah, which cycle is always good, right? But this Radiant Guardian coming down suddenly means we're not 15 health anymore. We are in fact at 18. Um, this attack does not push any extra damage. It activates the harpoon, right? So that's what
Yeah,
we're looking at here.
it's funny though. If you block with the Radiant, then Harpoon doesn't need the barrel to kill this Radiant.
Yeah.
But if he plays
So
out
he
the barrel and then harpoons, that beats sharp sight?
no, he needs a double barrel.
Well, with one barrel it does 6, right?
6. Yeah,
Oh,
and then sharp
true,
side will put it
because
at 6.
yeah,
Yeah, it
yeah, you're
becomes
right, you're right.
tougher. Remember?
You're right, you're right.
Too tough.
So it looks like he is going for the barrel.
It beats
But
Shapestone at
will we
least,
see
right?
the Harpoon? Yeah, it'll be the Chapestone.
But the sharp side is going to be pretty effective here at just topping off this Radiant Guardian, and this is just
Yeah.
so difficult. Successor has spent so many cards this turn to try and kill this thing, and his opponent just gained health.
Yeah. But he does have the double up to hit the Radiant Guardian, and there we can see from Seku's side there is no more tricks.
Oh
Oh,
no.
Liar!
I lied.
Okay, but keg. If we
But
get the
yeah,
keg
so
out,
he'd have to go for the keg.
I mean, if you're able to do it, it would work, right? But you know, we have perfect vision. It's so hard into this Demacia list to make that decision. But I mean,
Successor's
Successor,
doing it.
what a gamer, deciding that this is the winning line. This is how you win. You don't win by playing really scared around the combat tricks. If you're going to beat Radiant Guardian, you have to be willing to throw out the double up, throw out the keg, and we'll see here if he decides to pull the trigger. It's such a rough position to be in. It's a hard call to make.
Yeah, and Seku opting possibly not to swing with the Merciless and trade into the Butcher. So we'll see how that goes. And we know that the keg most likely is going to be popped here, so that'll be 4 less for Sivir. I think Sivir is at 8. Yeah, Sivir is at 18 right now.
And it is the double up. The trigger is pulled, and the Shapestone won't save it. This is so huge.
Yeah, and like I
You
said,
could
he
shape
does
plus
have the line
concerted.
to shape Concerted if he needs to.
And it might just be correct, honestly.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that doesn't
And
feel
it is.
good, but you are
Seku decides that
considering
it is correct. This is such a tough call to make. That we have in caster vision obviously can see that Dreadway is going to come down the next turn, and then Gangplank the turn after.
You already
I don't
committed
know.
the Shapestone. You have to commit the concerted, right?
Yeah, now you have
Oh!
to do it, right?
Oh!
Okay.
He got too
changed his
scared.
mind.
He decided
no.
he needed the concerted to deal with Gangplank or Dreadway.
Yeah.
Oh no.
So that was a free Shapestone thrown out the window.
We don't
Yes,
need it
it was.
anyway. Come on. But we took
Yeah,
so
who
much
needs it?
damage. The difference between using that concerted and not, we could be at 20 health right now, but instead we're at 12.
Yeah, 20 health, and we'd still have a Radiant Guardian.
Now, potentially it was the correct call, right? Because we can see a Dreadway coming down, a Gangplank coming down. If you use the concerted, you don't have a way to deal with it, right? So, like, potentially still correct. It just feels really bad when that is the line that you have to take.
Yeah, but pre-committing to Shapestone and changing your mind halfway?
Yeah.
I mean, you know, sometimes
was
it be
a
like
pretty-
that, man.
It's been a long day.
Yeah, but now we see the Gangplank comes down, and this concerted will level Sivir and give you a lucky find.
And you'll have a rally
Yeah,
if you want it.
if
Yeah,
you get
still have enough
overwhelmed
rally.
off of the lucky find, you kind of win the game instantly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
Sivir
think
flipped.
even Fearsome is pretty good because on the second open, or
There's
on the
no
open on your
blockers.
following turn.
Yeah, it's actually so good. There's a lot of really good hits here. And you're gonna have to tank a little bit of damage potentially. Oh, well, actually,
Yeah, you block and get the second lucky find.
they're just
This
giving you
is
another shot. Okay, but harpoon.
Yeah, this is to get the harpoon. Yeah, activated.
I mean, so what Seku has to do is just be a real gamer. On the first one, give your Sivir Overwhelm. On the second one, give your Bruiser Spell Shield, right? It's
Yeah.
easiest line in the world. Oh, you could get
Plus
quick
well,
attack. Yeah,
That's not good.
quick attack, Pog.
Fearsome.
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 Okay. Sure, not bad.
Also has the option of casting Sivir Spell.
Yeah, you go for the pass here. Here comes the harpoon.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think this is where you cast a Sivir spell and save the rally for the next turn.
Yeah.
Hmm. Alternatively, you
Or
could
actually,
force
yeah,
out
sorry.
blocks. You
The
push.
Fearsome, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
you're
yeah, you're
pushing
right, you're
4
right, you're right.
damage here.
And then you just have lethal on open.
Yeah, technically lethal on open. And even if it doesn't actually end up killing your opponent, maybe you only push another 4 damage. The Ricochet is potentially showing a lot of damage too.
Yeah.
Is this
the
going to be
spell
enough?
shield still on.
There's
Sivir.
actually, yeah, there's no way for Pink City to deal with
So
this.
double up, right?
No, doesn't matter.
Oh, because of the spell shield.
Yeah, the spell
Okay.
shield on Sivir, right?
Wow. Oh, wow. Seku.
Seku takes it home.